Hello, it's a special day today. It's 10 years since Lillian started her journey on combating chronic illness. Lillian, what made you start this journey?
Actually, you can say I collected some nugget of information during my whole life. My husband, now ex-husband, was studying to become a scientist, uh, getting a PhD in physics, and he got cancer, and we had a son less than 2 years old, so it was a really big thing. And he got Hodgkin's lymphoma, a cancer disease. And then doctors told us that it typically hit people, mainly men, young men with a high level of education. And it was like, what? It
Mm,
went against everything I have learned, and I'm actually a master in biology, and we have learned that it was either random or genetic and things like that. And here suddenly they opened the door for other courses like education, and education is under our control, what
mm,
sort of education we take. It took many years pondering upon this, and I heard other examples about a man with sclerosis that helped himself out the wheelchair that shouldn't be possible either, based on all the knowledge I've learned. So after I got my coach and therapy education, I started to do a little test, and as a real nerd, I started this quest on finding what is going on here. Why is it not genetic? Why is it not random? What is in stake here? So, coming here to 2015, I made a little experiment. I ask friends to find me people with chronic illness, and I ended up with a woman with burning mouth syndrome, a man with sclerosis, a man with Parkinson's, and a man with severe PTSD after being soldier in several years. And I gave them each 5 long sessions with the skills I had at that time as a pretty new coach and therapist. And the results amazed me. Of course, I couldn't heal them here and now, but taking just one symptom and focusing on that, I could do a lot for each of these people. And the guys with PTSD, I heard that some of his friends told him how much better mood he was in than before. The one with burning mouth, I could reduce her symptoms a lot, always in the session. And she actually continued with me some months, and we managed to settle down all her symptoms. The man with sclerosis, he was pretty bad in a wheelchair, but we actually regained one of his lost symptoms, that he couldn't use one of his arms. He was actually capable of using it, not forever, but a few times, and that was proof enough for me.
mm,
And the guy with Parkinson, I could always settle down his dominant tremor
mm,
in a session, always.
mm,
It could take an hour, but I could always do it. The smart thing was that he was living in my city. So after this little experiment where I have proven to myself that there was something going on, and me as a stress coach could help them all. And that was a proof that this was a lot more stress related that anybody have thought about before now. And then I continued working with the guy with Parkinson's. And it is so smart that with tremor, I could settle it down so he was still. And then he started to tremor again, and I could ask, what's going on here?
Yep.
And he then said, oh, I was thinking about my work. And then I got this thought reinforced that it was stress. Then something happened. I lost my corporate job. All the department's jobs was outsourced to India. So suddenly I have a ton of time. And for 3 years, I used 5 to 8 hours a day for 3 years figuring out what was going on here. And it brought me to a ton of studies that symptoms is stress related. I came to YouTube videos with war veterans that had the same symptoms as people with Parkinson's. I came to animal videos, and then I got several aha moments. The first, that is stress related. The second, that it's actually your instincts that are playing games with you. And the third aha moment is that dopamine plays a big role in your animal instincts. And there's a ton of evidence out there if you start to dig into it. And the only evidence you actually cannot find a study about that is we are mammals, but we don't need evidence for that. So all stress symptoms are grouped in different diagnoses. And then it suddenly starts to make sense. What do you think?
Well, I agree with everything you've said, Lillian, especially the the part about being in fight or flight or freeze as a mammal. I mean, I experience this every day. I feel this as a person with a Parkinson's diagnosis. I feel this every day. This feeling that I am caught in a mammalian response to stress. When my medication wears off, that's how I feel.
And then due to all this, I made a book in Danish, and I have since then made a book in English where I interview my clients so you can hear all their examples on what is going on. They're living proof of what I'm telling is all about. And I started making a company in 2019, and then I met Gary Sharp that kindly enough shared my offers. Year ago, I started making live courses about this, and I call them Overcome courses. So the first couple of rounds were with people with Parkinson's, and now we open up for other chronic illness and symptoms. It's time to break the myth about all these
Mm,
illness and symptoms and diseases. So that's a very important part of what I'm doing. It's to help people break their myths about their diagnosis, because it's not easy to find all these studies, and that's why you need to build your own proof.
yeah. I think people underestimate the effect of stress on your long-term health. I think it can be quite devastating, and people don't realize they always play it down. Yes, it was stressful, but I'm okay now. I mean, I think from my perspective, there's an inextricable link between stress and my symptoms. That it's undeniable. It's an undeniable link.
How many weeks after the course start before you realize these
Probably
connections?
about 3 or 4 weeks into it, I became convinced because I started to be more observant of myself. I started to pay more attention to my own body and how it was reacting to the stress in my life. And I thought there's something to this. And then it became stronger and stronger and more obvious as time went on.
And that's what we unfold in the course, dig into these relations, build your own proof, and then what to do about it. That's
Mm.
the next step. And then it's just a matter of how long time you continue with courses and how much time you use back home to unfold all this knowledge. Did we come across all your questions?
We did, yes, Lillian. I just want to say good luck for the next 10 years.
Yes. So, and
Who knows what we can achieve in the next 10 years?
suddenly a lot of things that have changed. There are some doctors even that are start having a little ear on that. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of my clients that go home and try to educate their neurologists. It's a little funny. That's how it works. It comes from the roots and then science follow.
Mm.
And I've done the best I could to make it as scientific as possible, everything I do. That's from where it starts. So let's see you in another podcast.